أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Dear Ss1 student class, this is the time for Islamic Studies learning. Your teacher is Ustaz Abdulwas Hassan Ademola. Our topic for today is the Jahiliyyah period. Subtopic: the practices of the Jahiliyyah. The practices of Jahiliyyah. First of all, let us understand what Jahiliyyah means. Jahiliyyah literally means ignorance. Technically, it means the absence of religion guidance, as a result of which corruption dominates the life of a given people. However, in the context of Islamic history, it refers to the period before Islam, known as the period of ignorance. Characteristics of Jahiliyyah Arabs' way of life. The tribal life of Jahiliyyah Arabs was characterized by the prevailing conditions in the Arabian Peninsula before the advent of Islam. Two main ways of life could be identified. Here, we want us to understand that the tribal life of Jahiliyyah Arabs was distinguished by the prevailing conditions in the Arabian Peninsulas. Number one of the practices of Jahiliyyah is good practices, while the other one is the bad practices. Inshallah, we are going to be explaining we are going to be explaining them one after the other. The bad practices of Jahiliyyah Arabs. Number one is polytheism, that is, associating partners with Almighty Allah, worshipping things other than Almighty Allah. The Arabs of Jahiliyyah worshipped idols. They worshipped stones. They worshipped their heroes. The idols that were surrounding the Kaaba, in which the Jahiliyyah Arabs were worshipping, are about 360 idols. During the time of Jahiliyyah, that is the pre-Islamic dawn, the pre-Islamic period. Number two, inhuman treatment of women. So they negatively treated the women at that time. The women were being maltreated in the following areas. Number one, they were denied inheritance by stepsons. So there is no any share meant for the women if their husband dies or if their father dies. So if any of their relatives in which they are supposed to be given a particular share in the inheritance left behind, they have nothing to be shared. Two, female daughters were buried alive. This is one of the disgust, very, very irritating idea during the Jahiliyyah period. Females that are being respected in our present society, it wasn't like that when the Islam has not when the Islam has not been practiced. Number three, they were made subservient to men. That means they are subordinate, they are useless, they are meaningless. So they can do and undo whatever they wish with them at that time. So I mean the female daughters. Three of the bad practices of Jahiliyyah is social corruption. Jahiliyyah Arabs indulged in alcoholism, adultery, and gambling. So those are the things that they indulge in. So which is very, very bad for a reliable, responsible, believe Muslim. Another thing is warfare. Jahiliyyah Arabs enjoyed willfully destruction through wars. They plundered communities. They wrongfully, they forcefully destroyed communities and enslaved the people that were therein. Another thing is tribalism. Jahiliyyah Arabs were great tribalists. They believe in tribalism known as Asabiya in Arabic language. They consider their tribe first before anything and regarded the support of a tribesman a supreme service even if he was a culprit. If the person that they are siding is a culprit, they will still strongly be backing the person. Others are perpetration of injustice, maltreatment of others, cheating of others. So those are the things that were very, very common in the pre-Islamic era known as the Jahiliyyah period. As they have the bad practices, they also have good practices. These are the good practices of Jahiliyyah. They were also they were also good, and there were also good practices among the Jahiliyyah Arabs. They included courage. They are very, very courageous. They were courageous people. They protected the image of their tribe on the battlefield. Two, hospitality. They were hospitable people. They helped the needy and strangers. They were also generous. When it comes to the hospitalization, entertaining the visitors, they are very, very good in some of that. Number three, fulfillment of promise. They are indeed promise keepers. Jahiliyyah Arabs honored their promises. They gave protection to individuals when a tribal member pledged his oath. This is one of the good practices of Jahiliyyah. Number four, intellectual attainment. Despite the ignorance that dominated Arabian during the period, some Arabs led an intellectual life. They produced exceptionally and highly qualitative poets and orators. So that shows that they are very good in composing poems. They are good in oration when it comes to speaking overtly or speaking in the public to the audience. So they are very, very good in that. Because of their life in desert, they became skillful astronomers. With this, I believe that we have understood the both bad practices and good practices of Jahiliyyah. Whenever a question is thrown to us to give us maybe little of the practices of Jahiliyyah, we must be able to answer them correctly. So may Almighty Allah make the little one learn a beneficial one to every one of us. Till we meet next time, next lesson. I remain your dear Ustaz Abdul Wasa Hassan Ademola. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.